running. What up, what up? I'm playing here with the Warcraft. It's gonna be me solo today. Richard, Jeffrey, and Steven are doing their thing. Little hiatus, they'll be probably back next week. But we have our first ever guest here. We got SmolBean.
Hi.
Yeah, she's playing Fallout 76. It's a little choppy, but it's alright. I'm out here playing with the Warcraft. I'm do some PvP while we have the conversation. So how you been? What you been up to?
Mostly work.
Work, work, work.
And yeah, work, streaming, and being a mom.
Nice, 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 nice. That's what's up. So like, what games you currently streaming?
Well, I know I took like a step back from Apex. I don't know how long, but I feel like with Apex, they've definitely did a considerable amount of changes that I'm not particularly a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know how long I won't be streaming that game.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know how I'm putting this. Um, yeah, I've definitely have stepped back from that game for a bit. But I've been playing a lot of this. Fallout 76. I gotta open up Steam now.
Is this your first run with Fallout 76?
No, I played it like years ago. I want to say like 2019, so like a year after it came out, when it already went on sale for like under 20 bucks because it used to be a garbage game.
Yeah, yeah. I got a lot of flack.
Yeah. But I've been playing on PC because I have it for PlayStation as well, but I've been playing on PC for like a month and I'm already at 242 hours on the game.
Oh nice. I actually like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is pretty good.
Yeah,
Fall.
I have that one too. 'Cause with the show coming out and everything, they did have like a flash sale for like a week. So like all of the Fallout games were like under 10 bucks. That's when I got all of that.
Have you been watching the show?
Yeah, I already binged watched all of it. It's good.
So you think they did justice to it? Did they collaborated properly?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Nice, nice. It's like I think it's probably the fourth title when it comes to like an actual game that they've actually transitioned it properly. Cause, ugh,
Yeah, they've definitely done a really good job with it. Like even down to like the minute details. So like with how all the drugs actually look in the game,
mm.
they got those details down like spot on.
Yeah, I think the last series that I saw that they collaborated into live action for me was a flat out disappointment, which was Halo. They they did too much. They could have done a little less and stayed a little cohesive to the actual story.
Yeah.
And the fact that they revealed Master Chief's face, I was like, no, why would you do that? That was a mystery.
Really? Did they really?
They did, yeah. You know, they took off his helmet and you see his face, and it's just
Oh.
like, but that's the point of that's the point of it. It was supposed to be a mystery. Yeah, John, his name was John, but that's all we knew. Obviously John Doe, but like that's all we knew. And then they took his
Yeah,
mask off, and I was just like,
yeah, no. I didn't watch that one, but I'm glad I did it.
I was like, mm, mm, mm. Yep, good old Paramount doing Paramount stuff.
I think before the Fallout series, the last thing I watched that had anything to do with like video games, I want to say the World of Warcraft movie.
Oh man, I have a
Well, let me rephrase that. I saw like bits and pieces of it 'cause my uncle was watching it and I
That's
wasn't like
yeah.
super into the game. So
I
I was like kind of watching it, but not really.
yeah, I saw it in the theaters, and for me, as a World of Warcraft fan, as you guys can see, I'm actually playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
For me, it was uh, it's hard. I think that's those are the type of games that you can't really make into a movie. Sadly, it's just
Yeah,
too.
like I had a general idea at that time like what it was about and I was like, could they really transition this into a movie? Like I didn't think they actually could.
So the lore itself of Warcraft is pretty straightforward. It's you know a whole bunch of orcs invade Azeroth, and then you have the Alliance, which is created of humans, dwarves, and elves fighting them off. Um,
hmm
but the thing is that you have for because they updated the lore every, I would say every three expansions, something new about the lore itself changed.
hmm
So when they went
Yeah.
to the original lore, which is the reason the why they went to Azeroth, because they made a deal with the Legion, which is like these demons, and then they drank demon blood, which turned them green, and like gave them like the thirst of kill, of murder. Which in
hmm
reality, they in the world of Draenor, they were pretty much just chill individuals living their lives, and they were invaded. And then you have a prophet called Medivh who gets possessed by a demon, and he kind of like helps the demons open this portal so those orcs could come in. So
Yeah.
the way the story was created in live action, and I think that's the fail. It should have never been live action. It should have been
hmm
like animation. If it's animation, I think it's a lot easier for them to create fights and scenes that are more correlated to what the gamer or like someone like myself has experienced within the game itself based off lore. But
Yeah.
they rushed a lot. There's a lot of plot holes. There are stories. I would say there are stories that could be made into movies, like the story of the Lich King, the story of the Betrayer, Illidan, because those are very well written stories.
hmm
Events like the Emerald Dream or the Fire of my Hyjal. I'm just spitting out stuff that you're like, huh? But these are
Yeah, I'm literally just like I don't know what's
yeah,
happening. Like
the War of the Ancients, another one. But this is all like lore, huge events that most people who've played World of Warcraft or Warcraft in general could relate to. And on top of that, it's
hmm
a niche audience. It's yes, it was huge back in 2004 to like 2007, where I would say 90% of the world was playing. But
yeah.
it came out 13, I think, 13 or 14. Let me let me get that actual date. I think it was called Warcraft movie release 16. So during 16, it wasn't. It's just that was his decline. The decline. It wasn't somewhat such popular as it was before. So if they would have released it at its peak, then it
hmm
probably would have been acceptable. But for me, it was like it was good for me, a person that knows the lore. But let's say I brought you in, or my wife in, or somebody who doesn't know about the lore, they'll be like, what is this?" I
Yeah.
don't get anything. Who's that? Who's Lothar? Huh?
Yeah, except I don't remember what part he was on. So it was like it was a blur. 'Cause like we were out like I think I was out with some friends drinking and we went to go see my uncle. So I don't remember what part he was on exactly. But I just remember I was watching it and I was like, I don't know anything that's happening in this movie.
Yeah. Well, at least they try to be as accurate to lore as possible, not like uh Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I didn't even finish that one. I could not finish that one.
It was bad.
Yeah, I never felt more disappointed in my entire life over a movie until I watched that one.
And it's like you have is it Michael Fassbender or Fassbender? I don't know if that's his first name, but he's a good
Oh,
actor. He's a very good actor, and
yeah.
you f it up. Like, why?
And I remember watching like the beginning of it and I was like, the fuck is this?
That didn't happen. This didn't happen. Oh my god,
Yeah, I was like literally sitting there checking everything. I'm like, this didn't happen.
that's crazy. All right, so this is a podcast, so I will be asking you a couple of questions, if I may, based off your
Of course.
gaming.
Hmm.
But since when you've been gaming? Since when has your video game addiction been been diagnosed with addiction to the video game?
Well, I grew up with video games. I grew up in a military family, so we lived in Okinawa for like 5 years.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, so we had like a Nintendo 64, we had PlayStation, Xbox. Like I grew up with a little bit of everything. So it's like I've had my hands on a little bit of everything. So it's not like, oh, I've only played all this and I think this is the best. Like no, I've done a little bit of everything. So but like if you ask me questions about like, I think the only thing I haven't played in forever is like Xbox. Like the last Xbox I played on was the 360.
nice, nice.
Like if anyone were to ask me questions about Xbox, I would just stare at them and be like, I don't know, man.
The OG Xbox. Oh, we gotta follow Spartan Girl 134. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Welcome in. Um, that's awesome. So N64. What was your first video game you've played, if you could remember?
Um, I really liked the Legend of Zelda series. I played a lot of that as a kid.
Ooh, this is a very controversial question.
Uh-huh.
Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask?
Oh, I'm trying to remember because my memory's fuzzy on those games. I haven't played those in forever. I really did like Majora's Mask though.
Mm, yeah,
Was it the Ocarina of Time that had like the creepy monsters in like the church or something like some castle? Or was
I
it
think that's
Majora's
Majora's Mask.
Mask?
Yeah, that's Majora's Mask.
That thing terrified me as a kid.
Yeah, Majora's Mask was I think a dark version of Zelda. I think one of the most darkest version of Legend of Zelda out there when it came to just plain
It,
story.
it really was. I think that's why I liked it because it was like a darker version of Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, with
But
Ocarina of
yeah,
Time. Yeah, nice.
that monster that would scare the hell out of me as a kid.
What about the moon?
The moon? I don't know. Like surprisingly, I don't think the moon ever really scared me. It was just those little weird monsters in the castle or whatever. Those things scared me more than anything.
Would you consider the N64 your first console?
Probably because like that's like the earliest things I can really remember playing is that, and because I had that. And like I said, I had like a PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, okay, okay, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah,
So,
so I don't I would assume N64 would be my first because I don't remember having like any other older consoles per se.
right, all right. You had the Japanese version of the N64 or the American version?
I think it was the American version. Yeah, it was the American version of the N64.
Yeah, the original black, or do you have had a color combination one?
We had the original black one, I think. I'd have to find a photo, but I'm pretty sure we had like the original black one.
Do you consider the N64 controller being like the most convoluted controller ever made?
It is. It is. Because so my brother, he's a year younger than me, right? So he has high functioning autism.
Hmm.
And like a lot of the times I struggle with that controller. I don't know how he does it, but like he would have that thing packed down. Like he would know. Like he has a way of holding controllers, like a certain way.
Oh man. Yeah, for me when I first grabbed that controller, I was just like, why is it shaped like an M?
Yeah, I never understood the shape. Like, I mean, I have my way of holding it too, but like I never understood what it was, why it was made like that.
Did you ever manage to play the first Mario Party?
No, actually. I never had the first Mario. I remember either that or I have and I just don't remember. Um, but like some of the other games, we had Star Fox. I remember
Ooh, good
that
game.
one.
Good game.
Yeah, we had that one. Um, gosh, what else do we have?
The reason why I say that is because the first Mario Party is like it's what people remember of the N64 controller, the torture, because they would there's a game, a mini game that requires you to like this to spin the joystick,
Yeah.
and it would tear people's palm skin off off their
Oh
hand.
my God.
It was terrible because you have to, the faster you go, the faster you spin the joystick, the more points you got. So you're like using your the palm of your hand to like pretty much yank this joystick, and it's like burning your hand, and you have like
Jeez.
literally like skin coming off your hand. So
Oh my God.
that's why I asked, because it's like one of my memories when as a child as well, where I would play that mini game and I'm like using the palms, like spinning it, and then all of a sudden I see my hand. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah. No, like I don't think we've ever actually played Mario Party. Oh yeah, we also had a GameCube. I just don't remember
Nice,
that.
nice, nice,
We had
nice.
a GameCube.
I love the GameCube.
I loved it too.
Good
And
memories.
yeah, and I remember when I found out for the Wii, you can actually play your GameCube games on there because we kept all our GameCube games. Like we didn't have a GameCube anymore, but we still had the games. And for some reason we still had the controllers, but we didn't have the system itself.
Oh man.
But like when I found out you could play your GameCube games on the Wii, I was like, bet.
So since when you've been streaming? Since when you've been on this journey on Twitch?
I started in 2017.
Oh
I
wow.
was I was in the military. It was like a year into my contract already. Um, and I started with like an okay gaming laptop because, I was still in the schoolhouse for my job, so I didn't want to have like a whole PC system. So I had like a little gaming laptop that I would stream from. And from there, I mostly played horror games or like stuff close to horror games. So I would play like Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, I didn't really play much um on that PC. Felt like it could really run it anyways.
Everybody
Um,
starts one way.
yeah,
The fond beginnings.
exactly.
All
But
right.
yeah, I did that, and then when I got a PS4, and once I figured out like, oh, you can like stream for your console and stuff, I transitioned over to that and did that for a while until basically after I got out and was able to, get like figure out like, what the hell a capture card is and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, now here I am.
That's what's up.
Slowly
Mm-hmm.
slowly
Slowly.
transitioning over to PC.
Yeah, I think the transition to PC is, for me, I was purely console. Like I loved consoles, and then uh, PC for me became more of. It was just a lot easier. I don't have to worry about having 9,000 consoles, connecting them, and like recalibrating them. Sometimes I do depending on the game, but
Yeah.
like PC, I think is it. PC is the master race. I've been convinced.
Well, I mean, like, for some of my games, I will strictly only play on console.
Right.
Because, not all games have cross progression. Like
Mm-hmm.
Apex, I will only play that on console. Uh, I will I don't see myself transitioning over to PC anytime soon. Um, at least not until because I think technically they do have cross progression, but they they don't. I don't know, they're doing it weird. And I know Dead by Daylight is actually coming out with cross progression pretty soon, and I like how they're doing their cross progression. Um,
Right.
because I also want to start playing this on PC again, because I started playing Dead by Daylight on PC.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's
but
a
yeah,
very popular game. I see like
it
everyone
is.
plays that game.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. But how they're doing it specifically is that they're taking whichever file has better stats, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and they will be implementing that as quote unquote your main account. So right now, obviously my stats on console are going to be significantly higher than what I have on PC. So they're going to take all of those stats specifically and transition them over to across the rest of my accounts on, whatever console or PC I have it on.
Okay. So
And oh, sorry.
no, that's all right. Go ahead.
Um, and they're also like with the add-ons, because obviously, not all the characters are free. Gotta buy bundles, but they're decently priced. I will say this, they're decently priced bundles. Um, but basically, because I have almost all the bundles on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Since I bought bundles on PlayStation, it'll be unlocked for all of my other stuff across all of my other platforms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I don't have to go through and fork out money to rebuy everything again.
Yeah, that's actually very considerate of these of the developers because usually it's not the
It
case.
is. It is. That's why I'm like, I don't want to. That's why I don't really see myself transitioning Apex to PC because I have 8 heirlooms on PlayStation.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm like, I don't want to fork out all that money again in hopes of getting heirloom shards or wait for the next heirloom event and get that heirloom specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's nice that they're doing that for sure. I don't remember when it's coming out. I know it's sometime this year.
The PS, as you said, PS5 or PC?
Yeah, PS5.
PS5, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm on. For Dead by Daylight at least.
PS5. Let's find out. So, what is your current favorite game, or what is your favorite game overall?
Uh, I mean, obviously currently it's Fallout, but if I had to pick an overall one, hi Dilly, see you there. If I had to pick an overall favorite though, I would say my overall favorite would have to be Guitar Hero, which by the way, I still want them to do a remaster of that
I
so
would,
badly.
I agree. They, I think they missed the mark when it came to the PSVR. If they would have introduced, if they would have brought back, uh, Guitar Hero or Rock Band as
Oh yeah,
VR,
for sure.
because that would have been lots of fun.
Absolutely. I would have loved that. I've been dying because I'm they're remaking all of these games, and I'm like, that's great and all, but I want Guitar Hero.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. They
Absolutely.
dropped the mark for so Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero, yeah. I like which one's your favorite?
I like well, I also like the Rock Band ones too. I remember I would play the absolute hell out of the Rock Band Beatles. I liked that
Oh,
one.
that's a very good one.
Yeah, I also like the Metallica one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you ever
I
get
would
World Tour?
I did get World Tour. I had all of them. Um I had World Tour. I had Aerosmith at 1.2.
Aerosmith is good as well.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
That's awesome. The did you ever get the entire thing, like the actual the guitars, the mic stand, the
Yeah,
drums?
I used to have everything. So actually after because my dad had the entire collection. So after he passed away, we had his entire collection of like the whole Guitar Hero set. We had the drums, we had two guitars, the drums. Um, I think I think we only had one microphone though.
Hmm.
But we had like everything else. Like we were given everything else.
That's amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed those games. Those games are lots of fun. It was a great way to introduce, like, I guess, people to like classic rock or really
Or
like.
at least rhythm games, because
Mm-hmm.
I really do like my rhythm games.
What about Dance Dance Revolution?
Oh my God, don't get me started on that. The way anytime I would go into an arcade, I would physically look around for a fucking Dance Dance Revolution machine. And if there was one, I'm like, here goes 20 bucks.
For I was never good at that game, but I did enjoy seeing my friends from high school play it. Hey, Diliax23, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But yeah, so I did here I live in New York City, so like there's a lot of hidden gems when it comes to like arcades.
Mhm.
And we used to go to Chinatown. There was this specific arcade that was very, very, very famous for like the beginning of Evo. I would say they were pretty much the encouragement of Evo itself and how it grew.
Mhm.
And they had Dance Dance Revolution tournaments, and like a couple of my high school friends would go down and play and join their sessions, and it would just be amazing seeing them, like how fast they would go. And I tried it, I'd just be like trash, 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 trash. That was so terrible.
I can't play on expert, but like I can play on hard. So I wasn't like quite there yet, but like a good chunk of songs I can play on hard.
All right, that's what's up. So, from one parent to another parent, how is it being a gaming mom?
Well, my kid likes to watch me play, and as you've seen in my streams, my kid is usually up late because he likes to watch me play.
Yeah, we've created a next generation of gamers.
Yeah. He likes to watch me play. He'll watch my husband play his games too. My husband, he plays like Resident Evil, he's been back on Elden Ring though, because of
Oh,
like the
yes,
DLC.
yes,
Yeah,
preach.
yeah, luckily he's taking a nap right now, because like if he would have started earlier, you would have heard him yelling in the background.
Yep, that's the game. Oh, that game is amazing. But yeah, so yeah, like, how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
I have one. He is 3.
Nice. That's that good old age where they're very vocal, very curious, yet very, 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 like, it could be like the terrible two, terrible three phase.
Yeah, he's still in that
Nice. That's a fun
terrible
part.
phase.
All right. What games do you think he's into? Like, what games does he sit down and just watch and ask you questions?
Well, he hasn't gotten to that yet, but he does like watching me play this game. Mostly for this one thing I have in my camp, which I just finished this event. Let me return back to my camp real quick. And there's like this one thing he likes to see on my camp. Like every time, like he knows when I'm playing this game because he'll just come up and he'll watch. And every time I'm at my camp, he'll say doggy.
Oh, the
So I
dog.
have,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, technically, you can't really have like animal partners in this game, but I have this item that I got from the store, and it's a junk collector, and it just happens to be a robotic dog. And he likes to look at it. He'll be like, "Oh, doggy,
Yeah,
here he is."
yeah,
He
that
just
is.
goes out and collects junk. But yeah, he'll like come up and be like, "Oh, doggy, doggy," and I'm like, "Yes, I'll show you the dog."
Oh, kids. Yeah, that's the memory they build. Like my little one, I have a 2 year old and a 7 year old.
Mm.
The 7 year old, not it doesn't really gravitize to games. I guess he's like he sees them all over all over around him. He sees them, like, all my collections, and he sees me game, but he's not really like eh. There's times where he does sit down, like um, if I'm playing baseball because he likes baseball, he likes watching it.
Hmm.
He'll sit down and watch. Recently he was sitting. He'll sit on my lap. He'll grab a seat and sit and watch me play Warcraft. And he'll just be like, because I'm playing PvP, so he sees all these actions happening and all these things, and he's like, wow. And then I'm playing my hunter, so I have different pets, different animals, and he loves animals. So that's
Yeah.
that's when he, like, if I'm playing my hunter, he sits down and goes, take out the dinosaur, take out the cat, take out. So the little one, my daughter, she might be a gamer because I've seen her. I walk away. Let's say I walk away to like get them something to drink or get myself something to eat, and I have the game
Yeah.
on, and she sits down and she tries to mimic everything that I do when it comes to like the movement of my mouse, using the keyboard, and she's moving the character, and I'm just like, okay, this is a 2 year old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. But yeah, but being a gaming parent is fun. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I have another controller for my PlayStation. It's one of my broken ones.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll take it and like if I'm playing like a console game, he'll take the extra controller and he'll sit down and he'll pretend he's playing. Like he's done that a few times on my stream too.
That's adorable.
Like yeah, he'll just kind of sit there.
That's exactly how I got introduced to gaming. The exact same way. For me, my very first console was the NES, and
Hmm.
my older brothers would play in in the bedroom. We used to share a room,
Yeah.
and I would immediately when I heard any type of sounds related to a video game, I'll be fast asleep and I'll get right up. And there's a picture of me with a Sega Genesis controller, and it doesn't have any wire because they it was a broken controller. Obviously, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Give your child a broken controller, or your siblings with the broken controller, and they will think that they're playing as well. And yeah, I have the NES controller, and I was supposedly playing Sonic the Hedgehog. So that
Hmm.
Sega sound for me is very very like nostalgic. The Sega, yep, that's it. Take me back to like the early '90s. So, what game are you excited for coming for to release? Like, what game you're seeing?
Oh
Oof, you're like,
man.
I can't wait, I can't wait.
I don't know. Oh, actually, no, there is one. There is one because they announced it at the Game Awards.
Hmm.
Jet Set Radio.
Interesting. Tell me about it.
I I fucking loved that game as a kid. Like that was my go-to game as a kid on the PlayStation 2. Jet Set Radio was where it's at. So like when I first heard about like, oh yeah, we're bringing it back, the way I actually lost my shit over it because I was like, there's no way they're actually bringing it back. I'm like, say psych right now.
Psych.
But like the trailer's out and everything, like it looks good. Like it still has the same feel as it did with like the earlier ones. Like they're bringing back like the old characters and everything. And I
Hmm.
remember watching the trailer and I'm like, I'm that 5-year-old kid, like 5-year-old kid again playing this. Like I cannot wait for that one.
You said it was called what? Jet
Jet Set Radio. So
Jet.
it's like it's a rollerblading game. So it's basically like this rollerblading game. I think you could choose between 4 characters. I don't know if they're adding any new ones
Oh,
in this new one.
Dreamcast. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I
It was
remember
also out for
this.
the place. It was like PlayStation or PlayStation 2. I had it for that one as well. But yeah, I was so excited when I saw that announcement. I was like, I'm about to like not do anything else for like a week straight.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm super stoked for that one.
I'm gonna check out the trailer. Let's check out this trailer for Jet Set Radio.
Video inspired by something I saw
Yeah,
on
it's like
Twitter.
Jet
Can you
Set
believe?
Radio Future something. I know I had like Future in it.
Is it? I think it's called Future.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Uh, let's see. Yep, Jet Set Radio Future.
Yep.
Trailer. Let's see. Hmm. Jet Set Radio 3. Interesting. But yeah, Jet Set Radio. Okay. Yep. Awesome. 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 All right. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, no, go ahead. I was just
I would say, what is the for you? What is the video game that you were like so excited to release, but then it just flat out disappointed you?
oh, there's a couple actually. One of them, I think one of the first ones was Resident Evil Raccoon City.
Oh my goodness, don't remind me of that atrocity.
That one pissed me off to no end.
That one's so terrible. It's such a terrible game.
Well, like we got it because back when Blockbuster was still a thing, I
Mm.
saw it at
Mm-hmm.
Blockbuster, right? So we're like, oh, let's get it. Because my brother and I, we're like super huge into Resident Evil, so we saw this game, and we're like, oh, cool, let's get this game, play it. Started playing it, you know. We're like having a good time. We're like, oh, this is so cool because we're playing as Umbrella Corporation. This is like a whole new perspective, right? So we're like super excited about it. We're playing. We get through like that first boss, and then after that, wouldn't let us continue, and we're like, what the hell? So we're like trying to like continue like progress through the game, but it wouldn't let us, and we're like, what the fuck? Come to find out, it was like, oh yeah, you have to buy more. Like, wait, what?
No, that oh no, that game drove me off the walls when it came to just how useless it was.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like the whole idea of like, oh, you're playing as Umbrella Corporation, blah blah blah. Like that's fantastic. Like I loved that idea. But the fact that we had to pay to continue with the story, like
Right.
we turned that game, like we returned that game the same day. Like we brought it back the same day. We didn't even keep it for a full 24 hours.
Yeah, I remember getting that game too, and I was like, okay, I'm excited for it. This is gonna be huge. This is gonna be like completely different. And then it comes out, and I'm like, what is this? What am
Yeah,
I
no, like
playing?
we were super stoked, like we were having fun and everything, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, you gotta like buy an add-on to continue the story, and I'm like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
no.
All right.
And
So here's another controversial question: RE4 or RE2
remake or classic
in general, just
in
story and
general.
gameplay. Yeah. RE2 or RE4?
Um,
As in, because those are the best. I would say, in my opinion, those
excuse
are the
me.
two. Oh, bless you. Those are the
Thank you.
two best RE games in the franchise. Is either people either say RE2 is the best or people say RE4 is the best.
Okay, so I'm gonna admit this right now. I've actually never played the classic ones.
Hmm. Okay, so
My
I,
hus
I would say modern like.
yeah, because my husband hates me for that still.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Controversial.
never played the yeah, he hates me for that still because I've never played the classic ones. Because when my brother and I first got into Resident Evil, obviously it was through the movies first,
Right.
right? It was through the movies.
Which we don't talk about.
No, some of those were good up until the one where they brought in Leon. Because oh, don't
Yeah.
get me started on that one.
Mm-hmm. So
But
yeah,
no,
so
we thought it was good up until that movie where
so
they brought in
RE2 or RE4?
RE2 or RE4. I would have to say RE4.
Oh,
So I'm a huge
phenomenal
Leon
choice.
simp.
Phenomenal choice.
I'm a huge Leon simp, and Leon and RE4 way better.
Yeah, amazing. I think the story for me, I played the originals. I played original RE2 and then the original RE4 in GameCube and PS2, which is
Mhm.
the PS2 is a rare commodity. But yeah, I think I like the story a little bit more in RE4 and the
Yeah.
gameplay because it was like the first like third person combat that you could actually
Yeah.
do combat stuff. So okay, all right. How long you been an RE fan?
Besides the movies, the first game that my brother and I ever played was actually RE5.
Ooh, multiplayer,
Yeah.
co-op.
Yeah, it was the co-op one and we
Mm-hmm.
played that one. We liked that one. So like ever since RE5,
I
technically, not including the movies, RE5.
yeah, I call RE5 Resident Evil Call of Duty.
Yeah, it does have that feel to it, not gonna lie.
It's like, is this really a Resident Evil game? Are you sure it's not made by Activision?
We had that since that one. But on my PlayStation, I actually have all of them, like classic included, because I slowly collected them all through sales.
Yes.
Um, so I have all of them, technically. Uh, the only one I've completed though was Resident Evil Zero.
Ooh, Zero's a fun. Zero's fun. I
I like that one. I
yeah.
like that one. That
Zero's
was
very challenging.
Yeah, because me and puzzles, if you've watched my streams, me and puzzles don't go well together because I'm very stupid when it comes to puzzles.
Yeah, Zero's complex when it comes to the puzzle.
Yeah,
Um,
like not gonna lie, I Googled half of it because I'm like, I'm too stupid for this. We're
it's
just
like I
gonna
gotta go
Google
where to do what to go hunt to
it.
open what. Nah, I'm good. Google,
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, Google, what do I need?
guide me.
Guide me through the
Oh man,
power of Google.
back in the day, when I got first introduced to RE was through the original one, the 1996 classic that had this hilarious like cinematic that was considered so 90s,
Oh
so
yeah,
90s.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing like some clips about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I really gotta play this.
And that was peak um, Sony because they
Mhm.
used to do the same thing with games like Twisted Metal, where their commercials or their trailers were all live action,
Oh yeah,
and I loved it. It was like it was so like corny and
yeah.
the acting was just flat out terrible, but it was so nostalgic. And that game gave me nightmares, where to a point where I would check underneath my bed thinking that a zombie was gonna come out. The first iconic scene, do you remember this iconic scene where Barry goes into the room and one of his comrades getting eaten up, and then
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
first close up,
Yes, I remember that one.
I was just like, ah. And I ran to my mom, and mom was like, I told you not to be playing those games. Those games are too much for you.
Didn't like they do like kind of the same thing with that, and like it's like not exact, but like a similar thing for like Resident Evil 5 and like the opening scene.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought back that similar iconic moment. But yeah, so like one was it. One was for me like, wow, this game is something about this game is getting me attached. Like I really want to play this game, or I want to watch my brother play it because I couldn't.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's certain parts I'm just like I just can't do it. So I'll have him help me, and we would play together. But the nostalgia portion was the fact that those puzzles. We're talking about puzzles. We
Hmm.
would have to go buy the book. You remember those
I have the
books?
book, yes. Or like you would look it up online and then you had to like write down everything, like the
Mm-hmm.
cheat codes for like the old GTA.
Yes. But this is mid 90s, so like 96, 97. So they didn't. We had internet, but it wasn't like huge like everyone had it. So you
Yeah.
had to go to a place like Blockbuster or KB Toys or Toys R Us and look for the story manual, where it
Mhm.
gives you all like the walkthrough manual. You remember those big books that was like walkthrough and gives you all the secrets and everything?
Oh yeah.
Yep, I would have to buy those things to try to solve those puzzles. But that's classic, man. That's that old school. You had to read and understand
Yeah.
gaming. Oh no. All right. What is your favorite genre for video games?
Horror.
Horror. Figured. Figured. Okay. Have you ever played a game like Silent Hill?
I have. I played Silent Hill. The Fear games were my favorite though, like in my early days of getting into horror. The Fear
Oh,
series.
Fear's good. Fear's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Fear series was like the first like generally yeah, that was like basically generally the first horror game I ever really got into was the Fear series. That one
Yeah, that's
was
a very good game.
oh yeah, I loved that one. There's that one. What was another one?
You said you had a GameCube, correct?
I did.
Did you ever play a game called Emerald Darkness or Eternal Darkness? Was it Eternal Darkness? I think it was called
Um,
Eternal Darkness.
I might have heard of it, but I don't think I've personally played it.
That game is a hidden gem. I think it's Eternal Darkness. Let me Eternal Darkness. Yep, Eternal Darkness. I'm correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
this game back
Yeah.
in the day
Mhm.
was psychedelic.
Yeah.
It was a very um it was creepy, but like to a point where it mind effed you.
Hmm.
And I remember playing this game back in the day, and it was a very good game. Super underrated, but it's one of the classics for the GameCube itself. Oh yeah. What is your least favorite genre?
Um,
Let me guess, sports.
yeah, I would have to say the sports.
Yep.
I've watched like my some of my friends play them, but like I never had an interest in those. Those and like the racing games. Never really was big on those either.
So Need for Speed.
I never really played that one.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So other than gaming, what other hobbies you have?
Um, ooh.
Got you on the spot.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I used to cosplay a lot. I
Okay,
did a lot of that.
nice.
I still have all of my old stuff, but I just don't do it anymore. I'll be honest, TikTok ruined that for me.
Oh wow.
It really did. Like
TikTok ruined a lot of things.
yeah, the cosplaying community is savage.
Cosplay ruined a lot of things for us.
Yeah, like
Not TikTok. Sorry, TikTok.
yeah, like if I could, I would love to do it again, but like TikTok has ruined it for me, especially after the whole Inquisitor situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Because like I follow a lot of um Call of Duty cosplayers on TikTok, and some of them I'm actually friends with. And I was like, maybe I'll get back into it. Like, I would love to do a Call of Duty character. And then after hearing the Inquisitor thing, and I was like, ah, I remember why I stopped doing it.
Yeah. Yep. Social media could be a very dark place.
Yeah, because I think the last time I've officially done a cosplay that wasn't for like Halloween or something, San Diego Comic-Con 2018.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was the last time I really cosplayed.
I haven't been in a Comic Con since I think 20 like 18 or 17. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, the New York one got so diluted, like so it just didn't feel what it used to feel, which was more of the comic culture, the anime culture, the gaming culture. It just became like this cluster F of like stuff that has nothing to do with Comic Con.
Hmm.
Yeah, it turned me off completely. And I was like, yeah. And also, it was kind of like an intimate space for those who. I'm not saying everyone's welcome to join, a culture like anime and like gaming and stuff. But I felt like for a period of time, it felt like it was the cool thing to do. Oh, let's all go to Comic Con. All right, but what comic? What's your favorite comic? I don't know. I don't read comics. Okay, all right, all right. What's your favorite video game? Oh, I don't play video games. Okay, okay. How about what's your favorite anime? I don't watch anime. So why are you coming?
Yeah, but like you also gotta like think about how much more tame it's become since like the early 2000s, because the yaoi paddle.
Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely calmed down a lot since then.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'll admit that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I do agree about that side. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I guess you got like the yaoi paddle, yeah, like the whole glomping thing, which like the glomping thing I didn't mind too much because I was like, as long as they're okay with it, like, it's fine to do it. But other than that, yeah, I'm glad the yaoi paddle's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, hmm, that was
That
questionable.
was
That was very questionable.
yeah, that was something else.
No, no, no. All right.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's I mean, like I said, it's been a while since I've been to one, but when I went to yeah, San Diego Comic-Con was like the biggest one I went to.
I still want to
Um,
go there. That's one
I,
I
w
need to go.
I went there for free actually. Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's a story about that.
Story time.
So, yeah, the story goes that like so basically I was still in the military at this time, right? I had just finished a 24-hour barracks duty. Um, or no, I was a duty driver at a battalion. I remember this. I had just finished duty and I was ready to like go the fuck to sleep because I've been up for 24 hours at that point. And I remember I was laying in my rack. I was like half asleep and my husband, which he was my boyfriend at the time, he called me. I was half asleep. And, technically he is my higher up, but luckily he didn't have me on speaker. Because I answered the phone and my exact words was, "What the fuck do you want from me?"
Damn. That sounds about right.
Yeah, like I'm about to sleep. What do you want? Because I was pissed. I was like, I'm trying to go to sleep. What do you want from me? And because like my first thought was like, oh fuck, they need me at the shop for something. So I was already like getting pissed off. So I was like, what do you want? And he's quiet for a second, and then he's like, "Oh, okay. I guess you don't want me to tell you about San Diego Comic-Con." And I was like, "What about it?" I was like, "What about it?" And he's like, "Well, oh, what's it called? I don't even remember what it's called, but they're like, "Oh, this area is doing a volunteer thing for San Diego Comic-Con, but like you could sign up now, but you gotta be quick because I guess spots fill up super fast." And I sat there and I was like, "Give me 5 minutes and I'll be there."
It's
So I
Comic
got
Con. Get
dressed.
up.
Yeah, I got dressed. I never got dressed so fast in my entire life. But like I didn't even wear like a matching outfit. I just threw on a random pair of pants and a random shirt. Literally, I was like I got dressed, I went down, and I'm half asleep at this point. I get to the shop. I like walk through the doors. I'm ignoring everyone else. I go straight to like the company office because if I remember correctly, at this point, my husband was working in the company office.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like ignore everyone. I go in and I was like, where do I sign up? So it was
That's
like
awesome.
me, it was me, him, and like a few of our other buddies, we all signed up for it. And we ended up, making the cut to like actually go volunteer. And we get to pick, however many days we wanted to volunteer. San Diego Comic-Con, it's like a 4-day event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we volunteered for all 4 days. Well, one of our buddies made the mistake of volunteering for only like I think like one or two of the days.
Fail.
And yeah, and everyone else volunteered for all the other days. Um, so
You
we all
guys are
signed up.
security, right? I assume.
Well, not really. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
What we did, we mostly were like the line. Some of us had different jobs. So like we were line watchers. So like we made sure like, everyone stayed in line, no one cut, blah blah blah. That's all we did. And it was only 3 hours of volunteer work.
Oh wow. And I
Yeah.
assume the rest of the time you were like free.
Yeah, so we got 4 days off of work for free.
that's that's awesome.
And we got to go to San Diego Comic-Con for free.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
That's really cool.
for my buddy though, the one that picked like 1 or 2 days to volunteer, he still had to go to work all the other days,
Uh huh.
and he only volunteered for those days that he had to volunteer for.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was like, that's rough, buddy. I was like, should have done 4 days.
Yep, that sucks for you.
Literally, we're just like, that just sucks, man. Like, you could have had 4 days off of work for free.
That's awesome. That's
I,
cool.
I actually have another off-branch story from that.
Go ahead.
So my husband was working one of the lines, right? This man, he met Tom Holland.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was like, he told me about it too. Cause like we couldn't really be on our phones or anything while working.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me after the fact. And um oop, and basically like when we met up and stuff, he was like, I just met Tom Holland. I was like, what do you mean you just met Tom Holland? He's like, I talked to Tom Holland. I was like, what happened? So he was basically saying like, um, what did he say? He said he was like chilling in line and everything, and he was wearing a Spider-Man suit. That was the funny thing too. He was wearing a Spider-Man suit.
So he was wearing the suit.
Yeah,
Oh,
He was wearing a Spider-Man suit. He didn't tell me which one it was, but he told me he was wearing a Spider-Man suit.
damn. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I was standing in line and I started talking to this guy. We're talking, talking, talking. And like my husband loves the Spider-Man movies. But he was basically like, he was like talking to him and then he noticed something. He was telling me like he sounded familiar. So he was like, "Are you Tom Holland?"
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I talked to Tom Holland." I was like, "Wow, must be nice."
Oh my god, yay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm Tom Holland, but don't tell anyone. Like because he was there when he was wanting to enjoy the con and everything. And it's like, all right,
Oh
well,
wait,
well,
was that the year he was disguised and no one knew he was just running around as Spider-Man?
yeah,
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yes, I remember that year. Yeah, it
yeah,
was all
like
over the
he
billboard.
was
Now I think
him.
it was
He
all over
was there.
the news and that channel that talks about entertainment. They were like, yeah,
Yeah,
Tom Holland. He was disguised walking around. That's
yeah, he was like
awesome.
wearing a Spider-Man suit. He was walking around, and he was like, I don't remember what my husband was working his line for, but he said he talked to Tom Holland. And I was like, well, that must be nice. Like I don't even remember what they were talking about, or at least like, but they were just like they were talking about something. That's when he asked him the question. He's like, yeah, but like don't tell anyone I'm here. Like he just wanted to be there to like enjoy the con, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And like my husband's like, I'm not a fucking narc. I like knew what you want.
Yeah, no, I think that's for me, they're just ordinary individuals who got lucky and worked hard and got where they're at.
Yeah.
to blow their spot and then ruin their day.
Yeah,
That's a
like
dick
my
move.
husband's an asshole, but like he's not a fucking monster. So he's like, yeah, like I got you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get called the same. I get called the same.
Yeah, like he's an asshole, but he's not a fucking monster. Like he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell anyone. Like I got you, but he told me, so I was like,
Yeah,
must be
but
nice.
you didn't run around and go, oh my god, look, it's Todd Holland.
Oh,
You're
dude,
like, oh,
I
so
was like,
sorry.
literally my first question was, is he still here?
Oh
Okay,
my
I just
goodness.
want to say hi. Is he still here? Like I'm not gonna blow his cover. I just want to say hi. I'm like, what is he wearing?
A Spider-Man costume,
Yeah, so he told me it was a Spider-Man costume, and I'm like looking around. I'm
and there's
like,
like 100 of them, and you're like,
yeah. And I was also wearing a Spider-Man costume. I was Spider-Gwen then.
Spider-Gwen. I like Spider-Gwen a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I was wearing Spider-Gwen that day. And
That's
I was
awesome.
like, well, I guess I'm not fighting him.
Fun
Uh,
correlated to your story. Tom Holland came to my job in Williamsburg,
ooh, nice, nice.
like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago with Zendaya,
Oh yeah,
and I was not on the sales floor. I was upstairs looking at some stuff on the computer and everything, and all I see is somebody running upstairs. Tom Holland's here. Tom Holland's here. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, awesome. And then like I go downstairs. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go take a peek, and like he was gone already. And then the
yeah.
person that was helping him came back like bloodshot, like not bloodshot, right? Like really like, oh my god, starstruck. And they're like, yeah, like they were asking for iPad, what's it called? iPod Maxes.
Yeah.
iPod Max. What am I saying? No, AirPod Maxes. Yeah, AirPod
Yeah, yeah.
Maxes. And that she just wanted the green ones, and they were like, yeah, we have them. So she bought them and bounced. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. But yeah, like for me, I don't really get starstruck when it comes to like celebs, unless there would be one exception. I would say for me, actually,
Ryan Reynolds.
yes. How you steal that from me?
Ryan Reynolds. I already
Yes,
know, bro. Like
yes,
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Yeah, yeah. I would be like, shit. I turned into a 13-year-old fangirl. Oh my god! No, I think
Pretty sure it's like every dude. That'd
yeah,
be like every dude.
yeah. The second person would have been The Rock, but
Oh yeah, absolutely him too.
but oh, I'll have to. I probably need like 30 seconds to get myself together, and then I'll be like, okay, he's just a normal individual. Let me just, he's just human. Let me calm down, and then I'll be like, all right, let me have a conversation. Yeah. The reason why I say this is because have you by any chance met anybody famous?
Um, I that reminds me of another story. So,
Go ahead.
yeah. So I didn't meet them face to face. I got to talk to them over FaceTime. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
intimate.
So, yeah. So my brother, right, the one with autism.
Mhm.
One year, I was still in the military at this time. One year I surprised him as a Christmas present. I got him tickets to a Walking Dead convention in Portland, Oregon.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I got tickets for him and my stepdad. Like I talked to both my parents about it before buying the tickets because obviously I know my brother is not going to want to go by himself.
Right.
Um so I talked to them about it. I was like, "Hey, like I want to get Nathan these tickets. That's my brother Nathan.
Mhm.
I was like, I want to get him these tickets. Like, would one of you be able to take him? Like, I want to surprise him with these tickets. I want to surprise him with these tickets, but I don't want to buy them if, neither of you guys can really take them. Um, and, they're like, this was like a couple of weeks before I bought them, or at least a couple of weeks before Christmas. I was like, I want to get him these tickets. But I want to buy them if neither of you could take them. And they're like, oh yeah, like we'll see if we can figure something out. Like let us look at our work schedule, um, and we'll see if we can get something together. And I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. I was like, all right, cool, cool. A little bit later, they call back and they're like, yeah, like your stepdad can take them. I can't take them because of work. I was like, no, it's fine as long as one of you is able to take them. That's all that really matters.
Right.
Um, so I got him the tickets. He was like super stoked about it. Uh, and so I think the convention happened in like January of that year or something. It happened in January. So they go and um I remember I was taking a nap and my brother calls me on FaceTime. And so I answered and I was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, you're having fun at this convention, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh yeah, 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 like it's fun, it's fun." And he's like, but like this person wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, cool, who is it?" Like, I didn't think much of it. I talked to Norman Reedus.
Oh, damn. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I got to talk to Norman Reedus on FaceTime. I think I still have the screenshot from that FaceTime too. It's somewhere on my phone. I was like, like I forgot how to talk for like a solid 2 minutes. I was like, uh,
Uh, yep.
like I like words were not
Available.
working.
Can't compute language.
Yeah, literally, it was like I forgot the English language altogether.
I will
English is
speak
now my second.
gibberish.
Yeah, literally, I was like, But we talked for a bit, and he actually, I have it somewhere in my storage, but he gave my brother the necklace he was wearing that day, to
No.
give to me. So I have that. I have.
That's huge.
Yeah, like, oh God, what was I telling him? I was like, because he was talking, my brother was also talking to him too, and I was like, hey, like, I was like, I don't allow people to do this, but I'm gonna allow you to do this once. You can pull the military card. Like, if anyone gives you shit, you pull that military card. But like, my sister's in the military, she bought me these tickets.
Oh my god. That works. Yep, that works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was like you pull that card. I'm like, I'm not gonna I'm usually don't allow people to do it, but for you, for today, for this day that you're here at this convention, I will allow you to pull this card
And look
once.
at that. Look at that. He pulled it, and then he got no more Regis as a reward.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then I actually got to see him again when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, but unfortunately, because they were doing a Walking Dead panel
Mm-hmm.
at San Diego Comic-Con. It was I think season 9 or season 10.
I can imagine it was super packed because that's like the peak, literally at the peak of the show.
Yeah, it was like season 9 or season 10. Was when I yeah, I'm pretty sure it was season 9 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, season 9 because I remember they were showcasing um it's spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Rick's death. They were showcasing Rick's death.
Oh damn.
Yeah. They're like, this is what's gonna happen in the season. Rick's gonna die. Or like, they didn't really like straight out said it, but like the trailer for it, you know, you knew Rick was gonna go. I'm pretty sure that was season 9, or it was like I said, it was either season 9 or season 10. And I remember seeing Norman Reedus up there, but the line for questioning was too long, so I unfortunately didn't get a chance to ask if he remembered me or
It's like,
anything.
hey, hey, remember me?
I had the
Hey.
necklace. I had the necklace in my hands too. Like I
Oh
was
my
wearing the necklace
god.
that day too.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and what was even funnier was I actually dressed up as Negan that day because the actor for Negan
No.
was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was like it'd be great. It'd be great to ask him that and everything. Yeah, like I
That's
was dressed up
crazy.
as Negan that day. I was at this panel because it was for Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. Which Fear the Walking Dead, I didn't really care as much for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it was good in the beginning because it was like, you got to see how the apocalypse started and
Started. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was cool and all, but I kind of fell off around the part where they went to Mexico. That's where I fell off.
You think it started? You think it dragged?
It did. I feel like it did.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, like they made their connections with,
Right.
the Walking Dead show because you saw Morgan.
Yeah, and how it
Like,
started. Yeah.
yeah, like you got to see Morgan, before, or no, it wasn't before he became how he was. It was like in the middle of that. Like he was, if I remember correctly, it was like after, it was like sometime after Rick left. Because we know that Rick first met Morgan like in the beginning of everything
Mm-hmm.
when he had his son. This was after, I remember it was after he lost his kid, but like I don't remember how much longer after that it was. Um, yeah, I'm like trying to remember now
Yeah.
because I've only seen like bits and pieces. But I know like they made their ties with the Walking Dead show. But yeah, I felt like it dragged
I feel like for
for
me,
sure.
the main show itself started to drag. I felt like it was being pulled too much, and it got. I think it just burned out. It was huge for a bit, and then it just dragged on too long, and then just bleh.
Yeah, because I stopped watching it season 7 after Glenn's death, but that was mostly because I went to boot camp around that time and just happened to had a chance to get caught back up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like they're really dragging on the series now though with all these spin-off shows they're doing.
Well, yeah, it's a cash cow. And that's usually what
Yeah,
happens. Look at Game of Thrones.
I never watched Game of Thrones. I have
Mm.
family friends who watched it. I just never personally watched it.
It is the greatest show with the. It's perhaps the greatest show with the absolute worstest ending of all time.
Yeah, I've heard the ending was absolutely terrible.
Terrible is not. If you say terrible, is an insult to the word terrible. How the ending was. Like it's an abomination. It should be deleted from the times of existence and
Mhm.
never talked about ever again.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Speaking of celebs, I actually met one of my favorite actors when I was I think to 2011, 2010.
Mhm.
I was hanging out with one of my exes. She was a dog walker for the Upper East Side around Park Avenue. So this is like billionaire road is what it's called. So usually it's like people who are like celebrities, people who have money, they live around that area. And she did dog walking for them.
Mhm.
So she's like, oh, come with me to the city. I need to pick up my check. I'm like, all right, sure, no problem. So we, she goes upstairs to this is one of these buildings, and I'm just waiting downstairs, and I'm just chilling. By the staff holding, which is like they're like fixing the building itself. So I'm just leaning on the staff hold, and this gentleman on my left had a top hat, bandana, a vest, sunglasses, and was just smoking a cigarette, nonchalant,
Mhm.
chilling. And I'm like, I don't pay mind. Usually, New York City, you mind your own business, do your thing. Don't say anything. Just avoid eye contact. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
So I look at him again, and I'm like, this guy's body structure looks familiar. And
Mhm.
and then he looks at me, and he sees that I made eye contact with him, and I was just like, okay. And he goes, how you doing? And I'm like, good, good. How you doing? He goes, I'm here, a little stressed. And I hear his voice, and I go, oh, and like for I would say 30 seconds, my brain just went blank, and I go in my mind, Johnny Depp.
Oh my God.
And then I look and I go, oh shit, and he goes, what brings you around this area? And I'm like, he's talking to me. I need to answer. So I go, I go, okay. I go, oh, just waiting for my girlfriend. She does dog walking. Oh, okay, okay. And he's pacing back and forth. And I go, I assume you're waiting for your cab, correct? He goes, oh, yes. Yes, yes. It's taking so long. I need to go to the airport. And I'm like, oh, wow. How about you get another cab? He goes, I can't. This cab is my cab driver. You know, this is, I just have to wait for my cab. I'm like, okay. So, quiet. This awkward quietness. He's still smoking a cigarette, chilling. And I'm like, I don't like cigarettes. I hate the smell of cigarettes. And I'm just like, I gotta just suck it up. Suck it up. So I go, great fan, by the way. He goes, oh, well, thank you. I'm like, yeah, my favorite movie was pretty much your first movie. Friday the third, not Friday the 13th, Nightmare of Elm Street. The fuck?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Nightmare on
remember
Elm
that
Street.
one.
And he goes, how old are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm 19. He goes, how? That movie came out in the 70s. I'm like, well, I got older siblings and stuff. And he goes, oh, really? They're cultured.
They're cultured.
And then I was like, and then he tells me, he's like, oh, so like, do you know about we just kept talking. Like, it got to a point where I forgot it was him, and it was just a regular, ordinary conversation.
Yeah.
And for me, that was way better than anything, because when he was about to go, like his cab comes, we have another awkward moment, because he's staring at me, I'm staring at him, and he's expecting. I think he's expecting me for me to ask him for his autograph. Mm-hmm. And I go, hey man, also I asked him about the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, oh, I'm assuming you're doing shoots, because it was around the time frame.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, doing here and there. I go back and forth. I'm like, oh, cool. How's that shooting? And he goes, oh, it's so much fun. I love the character. It explains how good he is, because he really gets into this character. Like, Jack Sparrow he looks like he's having a lot of fun, and when an actor's having a lot of fun just based off his performance.
Oh yeah.
So he likes his character a lot. That's why he was so butthurt with Disney when they kind of like cut him off because of the issues.
Yeah, the Amber Heard.
Yeah, they took one of his favorite roles away from him for some bullshit. Which,
yeah,
is another.
I'm still pissed about that, by the way.
I'm so pissed about that too. And I know, I'm like, this guy's not the type of guy to do shit like that. Then again, you know how they always say, never meet your heroes. But
yeah,
he seemed super, super, super chill. Like, this guy gives out the energy of, I'm always high.
Dude, I remember like watching like interviews and stuff, and, like just videos of him, and he just gives off that vibe.
Yeah, like I'm high. Like, yeah. I just smoked a couple of blunts. Leave me alone. Ask me chill questions. I'm chilling.
Literally.
So, like I was telling him about that. I was like, hey man, I wish you everything but success. He tells me the same thing, and then he tells me, he goes, thank you, and I'm like, thank you for what? He goes, you were chill. Obviously, like, I assume him saying, oh crap, he recognized me. Now I gotta like worry this guy gonna mark out and then expose me, and then I can have a cigarette and wait for my cab, which is already annoyed. I'm gonna get him even more annoyed. Yeah. I was like, nah. I was like, hey man, I just, it was wonderful having a conversation with you. Have a great day. That's all I said. So that's when he made me look like, does he want anything from me? And I was just like, have a great day. I mean, that's it. Like, it's cool. So, yeah, it was cool. It was cool meeting one of my favorite actors, and I'm glad you actually have that experience as well, even though it's through FaceTime.
Oh yeah, it was so nice. That's yeah, awesome. Speaking of actors, so San Francisco Comic-Con, right? I went to San Francisco Comic-Con one year with a friend. I remember it was during Labor Day weekend. This was still like early days of my military stuff. I was in comm school and everything. So basically for like Labor Day weekend stuff, you have to fill out a form because technically we get 4 days off. So we had to fill out a form and like tell them exactly what we're doing. And since we weren't really in our unit and everything, we couldn't like do anything too crazy and whatnot. Like we still had to so we had to be like really honest. Well, my buddy and I, because I have family in California, And my buddy also lives in California. He lived in LA. And so we made this whole plan because he wanted to go to the convention too. And I was like, "Oh, cool! Like we'll go together." And we lied our asses off on that. We both came up with like the biggest bullshit like excuse on our stuff, saying like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hang out with family, like, some days we're probably gonna be drinking, blah blah blah. Like, we're gonna be safe, whatever." And we had this whole plan already and everything. So basically, the 96 starts, right? And basically, what we did, because they have to watch you leave, like from their duty office, they
Hmm.
have to watch you leave. So, we told our family the plan, like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, blah blah blah.
Right.
And they were okay with it. They're like, okay, okay, okay. And basically, what we did was, our families came and picked us up. And I was like, hey, like, I'm gonna make sure I have everything ready at my grandparents' place, blah blah blah, and then I'll meet you at your place. So basically, we got our stuff ready, and then I went over to his place in LA, and we basically went all the way to San Francisco, and we spent like the weekend in San Francisco.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We never got caught, by the way. Like we got away with it, clearly.
Nice, nice.
Um, yeah, I actually met Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor
Oh, okay.
from Doctor Who.
Interesting. I'm not
Amazing guy, by the
not
way.
huge on Doctor Who, but say more, say more.
Yeah, like my brother and I were both super huge into Doctor Who as well. But like I went to go meet him, like I didn't know he was gonna be there. So, we're walking around this convention and stuff, blah blah. And I remember looking over and because they have like an area with all like the voice actors and stuff, I'm looking around. Like, the voice actor for Naruto was there, the voice actor for Ash was there from Pokemon. Um, blah blah. Like I was kind of looking around and I see Peter Capaldi and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know he was gonna be here." And I had a sonic screwdriver, the 12th Doctor sonic screwdriver.
Oh, nice.
Um, and so, I'm like, hey, like, let's wait in line for this guy. And, my buddy wasn't really huge in Doctor Who, but he's like, yeah, like, I'll wait with you. So we're going out. I call up my brother on FaceTime. And, I'm talking to my brother. I'm like showing him around the convention and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And as we get closer, the workers that were up there with Peter Capaldi, they were telling me, like, you can't, you can't be on your phone. Like, you can't have your phone out.
Hmm. Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. So like I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna put you in my pocket real quick. Like I didn't hang up the call or anything. I'm like, we're gonna go in my pocket real quick. Put it in my pocket. Like I'm like kind of hiding my phone because they're like, hey, you can't be on FaceTime or anything, blah blah blah. So I'm like kind of hiding the phone, and I get up there and I'm talking to him, and he's signing the sonic screwdriver, and he's like, oh, who do I make this out to? And I'm like, oh, my brother. So I got my brother a signed sonic screwdriver from Peter Capaldi, and
That's awesome.
yeah, I was like talking to him, and I was like, I actually have him on FaceTime right now. But they were telling me that I couldn't have him on FaceTime. When I said that, he's like, ah, whatever. Like, let me talk to him. I was like, I bet. I was like, are you
he gave the
gonna?
okay. I'm in the
Yeah,
clear.
I like kind of looked at the workers and I'm like, haha, fuck you guys. He gave me the okay.
Oh wow.
So, I show him the phone. My brother, he's like kind of starting to stim a little, like he's excited
Mhm.
because he's walking around the house and stuff. And he's talking to my brother, like my brother doesn't really know what to do. Like I was telling him, like, yeah, like my brother, he's high functioning autistic. Like we both really like the show, blah blah blah. Like we're like talking, talking, talking. And he's talking to my brother, and of course my brother's not saying much because like he's nervous, he's excited, like he doesn't know like what to say.
Oh
And
man.
he's like kind of talking to him, and of course, like I said, my brother's pacing around the house, and he's looking, and he's like, because like the famous line for like the TARDIS when like people like see the TARDIS and stuff, which is like a phone box.
Mm.
They always say, "Oh, it's bigger on the inside," because it is. Um, he looks at my brother and he's like, "Oh, I like your house. It looks really cool. It looks bigger on the inside." And like the nerd inside of me was screaming.
Oh wow.
like, like I was losing it inside. I was like, there ain't no way he actually said that.
he, he, that's a Mark moment right there. Like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way he actually said that.
That's hilarious. That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
yeah, it was super cool. He was a really cool dude. My brother still has a sonic screwdriver too in his room, the signed one. So I gave it to my brother.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, he was a really cool dude. And he was like, we talked for a little bit longer, and we said our goodbyes and stuff. I paid for the autograph, whatever, and yeah, it was super cool. And then, actually, it ties in with another story. Um, I actually met the voice actor of Finn the Human from Adventure Time at San Diego Comic-Con.
Nice. How's he as a person?
He was super funny. He was really funny. I got a quick picture with him too, but he was like super funny. I had like a mini Finn Funko Pop, like a
Hmm.
little keychain one, so I have that box somewhere too, but he signed it and everything. Well, like I said, my cosplay looked awesome. I was like, yeah, I'm like Negan from The Walking Dead. And yeah, we didn't have like a super long conversation because obviously, he had a line, so
Yeah, those
but
are
he was
yeah.
he was really cool. I liked seeing him. And then I didn't meet him, but I saw the creator of Gravity Falls at San Diego Comic-Con as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. Be like that. You see a lot of people on Comic Con. I think the New York one, we had 1 year where it was like crazy. It was that like Avengers 2012 year where the Avengers actually the whole entire cast came to New York City, and
Mhm.
yeah, it got crazy in there, super hectic. People were
Yeah.
camping out for like almost 24 hours just for that panel. But
Honestly, I would
yeah,
too, not gonna lie.
yeah, and I was like,
I would
damn.
too. That reminds me, San Diego 2018. That was actually when they were first introducing the Fantastic Beast, and they had the entire
Mm,
cast there.
mm-hmm. Remember
Yeah,
that?
because I
Remember hearing
remember
that?
seeing them. I remember seeing them, but I didn't have like the bracelet or whatever to like do the signage or anything because they were signing autographs too. Um, but yeah, they were there. I remember they had like an area where I don't remember if it was like right before Aquaman came out or like right after it came out, but they had all the costumes for the first Aquaman movie there.
Ooh, okay. I think that's probably the only, well, Wonder Woman was actually pretty good too when it came to like success of DC, but Aquaman was not that bad.
I liked the first Aquaman. Um, I I never watched the second one for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Uh,
she was only there for apparently 3 minutes.
no
Apparently,
matter.
I know.
I ain't
Yep,
watching
yep.
it.
It took a hit because of that too. Because people were expecting her to get her scenes cut,
Or at least
but
replaced. I was expecting her to get replaced.
well, the replacement I think would be a lot harder than cutting. I think cutting would be a lot easier for the studio to handle because technically you don't have to bring her up. You can be like, yeah, she was killed. That's it.
That works too.
She had a horrible death.
Also, it was before the first Aquaman came out because the first one came out in December of 2018. So it was like before it came out. And they
Mm,
had all the costumes there.
mm-hmm. That makes sense. Alrighty. So you are a correct me if I'm wrong. You are a U.S. Marine.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How was your experience being in the military?
I will say this: I miss the people,
Nice.
but that's about it.
Okay.
I miss nothing else. I miss the people for sure.
You build good relationships, I assume.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Where were
definitely.
you stationed?
Uh, California, Camp Pendleton.
Is that San Diego?
Not quite.
Okay.
So technically there's like three different bases down there. So there's MCRD San Diego, which is the boot camp area.
Mhm.
I don't know what else they do over there. There's Camp Pendleton, which is one of the bigger bases, and then there's Miramar, which I don't remember where exactly that's at. I think it's also close to the San Diego area, but not exactly in San Diego.
All right. Were you ever deployed outside of the U.S. or you remained in the U.S.?
I remained in the US.
Gotcha. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I have a cousin of mine who's also part of. Actually, two cousins that are a part of the Navy,
Hmm.
and one of them right now is stationed in Japan.
Hmm.
And he got sent out during COVID to Japan. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just like, you lucky mother effer. Can I get in? Can you send me over? Please. I wanna go. I wanna go.
Yeah, I
But
really wanted to go to Japan. I was like, for the love of God, please.
oh
I
man.
want my duty station to be in Japan. I never got it though.
Isn't it turn like you need tenured for you after a bit then you could be selected or you get to choose? Or am I wrong?
So it's interesting how that works. So like you can so in a way you can like suggest to them like where you want to go when you like first get your duty station, but even
Mm-hmm.
then like it's all
Long
selected
shot.
randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um
But I'm talking about like tenured. Like let's say you've been in the company for 5, 6 years, and you're like, you know what? I kind of want to venture somewhere new. Is it possible you guys could transfer me into Japan's base?
um I don't remember how it works exactly.
Hmm.
I don't remember how it works exactly. I think like for a good chunk of your time, it's like you can suggest where you want to go. Um, but even then it's still random, but like I'm trying to remember. Um, I think once you hit like staff,
Right.
the staff rank, I think you have like, a higher chance of being sent to that place, but I don't remember um when exactly you'll be able to per se choose where you want to go.
All right. Yeah, I would. That would be very cool to get stationed out in Japan. I don't know how he did it. I have to figure it out and ask how he did it. But I was like, when he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm getting sent out to Japan. I'm just like, this person.
Yeah,
My,
my cousin who joined, he got sent to Japan, and I was like, wow, must be nice, bro.
what did you do? Tell me. I need the
Yeah,
cheat codes.
literally. I was like, tell me what you did.
Who did he talk to?
Exactly.
Do you gotta take
But
a test?
the funny thing was, he wanted Camp Pendleton. And I was like, I wanted Japan, bro.
Yeah. Some people get sent out to Germany too.
Yeah, that's leading me up to that. So he got sent out to Japan, and then he had like something going on in like Europe, so he got sent to France.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he like posted pictures from like Disneyland Paris, and I was like, fuck
Middle.
you.
Yep. Middle finger to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you and your adventures, man.
No, thank you for your service.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I'll be mad salty too. I'm
Oh,
trying my
so salty.
hardest to go next year or the end of this year to Japan. Like
Mhm.
trying super effing hard to go.
Mhm.
So I have to go. I have to. I'm probably gonna do the short trip, which is like New York to LA or New York to Hawaii and then Hawaii, like that. Because I don't think I'm
Yeah.
able to survive as a 16 or 17 hour flight straight.
Mhm.
That's torture. I
Yeah,
think.
because how my flight was, because last time I went to Japan, it was for um a class trip.
Class trip? What kind of school you went
Yeah.
to?
Well, we raised the money ourselves for it, because
What
like
what what
obviously
what
we
type
wasn't
of
gonna pay
school?
for it.
What the fuck? Damn, that's
Yeah,
cool.
like it was super cool. But we went for 2 weeks. We did like so I think how we did it, because we have, at least in the Northwest, I lived in Idaho. But we had like hosting programs, and a lot of it is um how do I put it? A lot of it was like them trying to learn English and
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
And a lot of the programs happen in Washington State though. But one of the programs actually does it in our hometown. And so my Japanese teacher managed to contact the people who ran it in Japan. And, they talked it out and were like, yeah, we can do like an exchange program for you guys. And so that's what we did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we did that. So we went over there for 2 weeks. It's this town called Sumagoi. It's like the more countryside of Japan.
Okay.
Which is honestly just as nice as the city.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I heard their actual like because they're so traditional and so peaceful that their countryside is like sometimes even better than the actual city.
it is. It is. Like the 2 weeks I was there, it really was. But we did that. So we went over there for 2 weeks. We stayed with some of the families that were there. And oh God, what did we do? Our flight actually, so our flight was from Washington to up to somewhere in Canada, and then to Alaska, and then straight to Japan, if I
Oof.
remember correctly.
Wow.
hmm
Holy shit. That's a flight.
It was cheap.
Hey,
It's like,
I'll do it. I'll do it.
yeah, it was
Shit. I
cheap.
don't care. Get as long as I arrive and land to in Japanese soil, don't care how many times I land. Don't.
Yeah, like I mean, don't get me wrong, it was like nice getting breaks
Oh
to
no,
like,
it's needed. It's needed. Like
yeah, like
my
absolutely
sister in law.
needed.
Yep, my sister in law went to Japan and she went straight and she said it was torture.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I could survive like a straight flight. We did that. I want to say our first night, the first 2 nights I want to say was spent in Tokyo.
Nice.
So we got to be in Tokyo for a little bit. Um, and then oh boy, I'm trying to remember. Then we went to Tsumagoi, got acquainted. We stayed with two different host families. So the first week was with one host family, and the second week was with another host family. Um, but we got to meet our host families and everything. Got to spend time with them. We
How they treated you?
really, really great. They were really nice. I loved my host family. I will say this though, I do miss the home cooked meals. Those are like the number one things I miss is the home cooked meals.
Really?
Yeah, I loved their home cooked meals. Um,
With the was it traditional? Like they would bring out the soup and then the rice and then the main dish.
I think I have like a couple of pictures some work. But like the only times we really ate with our host family was like breakfast and then dinner because like the
Okay.
rest of the day was spent doing other stuff. Um, I gotta dig through my Facebook now. Where'd it go? Albums. There it is. I know with one of our host families, we had like, oh God, I don't remember what it's called. Um, but basically they brought out like a hot plate and we like grilled a bunch of stuff. They made like
Nice.
okonomiyaki. We just had a bunch of stuff, but that was fun. Um, we did that. The breakfast that we would have, it was like a small breakfast. Um, it was good. It was like a small breakfast though, because like I knew we were gonna be like eating out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have like small breakfast. It was like still good at everything. Um, yeah, we spent 2 days in Tokyo. Um, we spent a good chunk of our time in Sumagoi. I know at the end of our trip, we went to Akihabara the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we were like in the more electronic section of Akihabara. We weren't necessarily like in the anime section of Akihabara, but it was still cool regardless. I
Akibahara Town, right?
yeah, Akihabara, the anime central.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to walk around there for a little bit. That was really cool
How
to
packed was it?
see. I think the day we went, it wasn't too crazy. I don't think it was too crazy, but like I said, it was like the more electronics area of Akihabara. It wasn't necessarily like the anime area.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't too crazy.
All right.
Um, let's see, where
Lucky
else did we
you.
go? Yeah, it was fun. I would love to go back though.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
actually
trying
love
to
to go
get there.
back.
Trying to get there. I already. That's my wife. I was like, yo, if I go there and I find a job, I'm not thinking coming back. I'll send you money.
Yeah, I'll send you money though.
You'll be good.
I think I know one of the things we went to, which I know I have that on Facebook for sure. We actually went to like a little Studio Ghibli
Ooh,
convention.
oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. It was super cool. They had like all this stuff from like all the different movies. They had like a life-size cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro that you can like go in and like take pictures on.
That's amazing.
Um, yeah, it was I loved it. We did that. Um, we wow, we did like a lot of stuff. I know we met like this really cool artist who made art out of junk, and that was super cool to see. Which I know I have like pictures and videos, because some of the stuff he had, he like they actually moved on their own.
Hmm.
So he had like all that set to like move on their own. And it was really cool. Like he was just kind of like under the radar type artist, but he had like a lot of cool stuff.
That's what's up.
Um yeah, it was like super neat. What else did we do? I know we went to like a round one bowling alley
Hmm.
out there, which like bro, that building was like 4 stories tall and it was just bowling and arcade stuff.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was. It was. Like we did some bowling. We like hung out in the arcade for a while. Let's see. We also we went to one of those like monkey zoos
Hmm.
where the monkeys freely roam.
Oh, I've seen that before online. Yeah, you can feed
It
them and
was
all like that. They're
cool.
chill. They're not confrontational. They're just very chill.
Well, there's two rules. Don't make eye contact with them
Oh, okay.
because they will attack.
Fun.
And yeah. The other one was like, don't touch them either.
Well, it explains it. They'll bite you.
Yeah, but it was cool. I was low key scared because like there was a monkey that got like 2 feet. That was like 2 feet away from me walking by, and I was scared to move. I was like, please don't attack me.
The monkey's like, you scared? Hmm? You scared? You scared? Hmm?
I mean, it was just chilling. It was just fine chilling, and I'm just like standing there. I'm like, please don't attack me. Well, we went to one of those. We went to a couple of shrines. So we went to like I can't remember the name. I'm terrible at remembering names of places, but we went to like one of the more famous ones in Tokyo. We went to that one. Um, I can't
Nice.
remember the name of it, but yeah, we went to that one. We I'm like scrolling through my pictures as I'm trying to remember. We got to visit the elementary school and the middle school in the town that we were at. And we actually got to meet some of the middle school students that were actually going to come over to America later that like in the fall. So we got to meet them and they were cool. Um one of them I actually ended up staying with their host family with their family that second week. And it was cool. They were super cool. My second host family though, the dad for my second host family, he fucking loves Gundam. Like he had an entire Gundam collection.
Wow. I love
He had the
Gundam too.
flags. Yeah, he had flags. He had figurines. He had like helmets. Like he had so much Gundam stuff, and I was like, you're my favorite. Like you're my favorite.
So, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
What are the challenges and the fun things about streaming?
Um, I mean, for me right now, it's mostly with timing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally, as you can see, I stream later because I wait for my husband and I try to wait for my kid to go to bed. And
Yep.
it doesn't happen. Um, I usually wait for them to go to bed and then um me personally, I think it's mostly with stream time as well, because like there's some games that I'll get really invested to and I want to stream for longer, but I can't because, I work the next day
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So it's mostly like timing, really.
Balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's the fun part of streaming?
I definitely like playing with friends. Yeah, I would say I definitely like to play with friends for sure. Um, I usually with that because like sometimes I do struggle with talking a lot in stream because I'll either like, usually get really invested in a game or it's like I never really know what to talk about exactly because like I'm a very introverted person. So I already struggle with talking normally as is.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think the
Yeah.
the biggest the biggest difficulty is maintaining the entertainment part, which is like, it's not just you playing a video game, it's also you kind of like having something to talk about,
Hmm.
and then like having that like click to your audience, or your audience is also kind of like talking back. I think that's one of the challenges, but as long as you're enjoying it, I think that's the main thing. That's like literally all that matters.
Yeah.
What is the craziest stuff people have requested you to do or said to you during stream?
Mm,
Any crazy stories?
I'm not trying to remember.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I don't really get a whole lot of crazy messages per se.
Nice.
I do have like one story though. I think it was like one of the very few times I like was genuinely somewhat upset on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was like the early days of my streaming days. It was like when I first, it was like a little bit into, streaming from my console, back when I first got my PS4. And it was when I was like super big into like Apex and stuff. And one night I wanted to play. This was when Cold War came out too. I remember because it was right when the Ghostface pack came out for Cold War as well. It was like their Halloween thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was playing that. I wanted to play zombies. And so I was getting ready to play that and everything, and I had someone come into my stream and they started complaining that I wasn't playing Apex.
Oh my god.
And I kind of went off on them and I was like, listen, bud, like if you want to watch someone playing Apex, like you can go look up someone playing Apex. I was like, this is what I wanted to play tonight. Like I don't just play Apex. Like I play other games too. Like I'm gonna want to play other games.
Right. Yeah,
Like
I'm the same way. Yeah.
yeah. Like normally I don't usually like I don't really take requests on like what games to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly of like, this is the game that I'm gonna play, like I'm playing this game. So I don't normally take requests anyways. So like it honestly gets me a little miffed when like people try to request like games to play. Unless they're like recommending a game, like, hey, I recommend checking this game out, then I'll be like, oh okay, like, I'll look into it and if it's something that I might like, yeah, I'll definitely get it and I'll stream it.
No,
Like if
no,
they're
no. I want you to play this game. How dare you play that game?
yeah, literally. Like that's how literally the guy was. He's like, oh my God, I have to find it because I think I got a screen recording of it or something.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
hilarious.
I gotta find it. I might have posted it to my TikTok. I don't remember.
Wow.
I gotta really scroll through because this was like years ago. I'm gonna do that. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure I have it here somewhere. I'm getting close. I'm seeing some Cold War videos.
I am stuck. For a minute? Damn, no, hold on. There we go. I'll pop that out. Oh man. But yeah, this was been a very very fun first guest interview with Small Bean Gaming.
I found the video.
Nice.
So basically, this guy, because I've been playing other games,
Mm-hmm.
this was the guy's third or fourth time coming in just to only say Apex and then leave because he wanted me to play Apex.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow, doesn't stay for the stream just because you're not playing the game that he wants you to play.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, I
That's
found it.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah, like I went off on this dude. I was like, look, if that's all you're gonna actually say when you come in here, like don't bother coming in here at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that desperate for viewers or followers. Like if that's all you're gonna come in here and say, don't come in here.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Like yeah, like if you want to watch Apex that badly, then go find someone else that plays Apex.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, oh my god,
yeah, like, I went on a whole tirade about it. Like, it was the first time I was like genuinely upset on stream. I
wow,
was like, look, like, I get it. I love Apex. Don't get me wrong. Apex at that time, Apex was a good game. I was like, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Apex. It's great. It's fun. But I have other games. Like my whole stream isn't based on Apex.
right. And
Like
I
I,
love when they go,
ooh.
well, you play it, it should be about it. Like, no, it's not, it's whatever I want to play.
Yeah, it's like it's really whatever I want to play. Like when I went on a whole fucking thing. I was like literally when I first started streaming, my whole entire thing was horror games. Like that's all I would play.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I've branched out a lot since then. But every once in a while, if I, find a horror game that I like and haven't played yet, I will go and play it, you
Right.
know? But I was like, you can't how do
Yeah.
I word it? Like you can't just like come in here and be like, this game and then leave. Like, bro, like don't bother coming in here if that's
I
all you're
want
gonna
you to
say.
play this. Bye.
Yeah, literally. That's all he would do. Like the memory's starting to come back. But yeah, like that's all he would do. He'd just come in and be like Apex and then leave. And I'm
That's hilarious.
like,
That's
okay, bud.
hilarious. All right, bye,
Like, well,
Apex.
yeah. I was
Awesome.
like, all right.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, like the first couple of times, like the first time, I was just kind of like, I'm not in the mood for Apex. Like, I wanted to play this today.
Right.
Whatever. Because I generally wasn't really in the mood for Apex. I was like, I wanted to play this. But he just kept coming back every stream. He was just like Apex and then gone.
That's hilarious. Apex guy. The Apex
Yep.
dude.
Yep, I haven't seen him since that day either.
Oh, yeah, he probably feels some type of way. He's like, oh, well, I didn't get my Apex, so I'm never coming back. Alright, well, bye.
Literally, I was like, I ain't that desperate for viewers, my guy. Like,
That's
I'm not gonna
hilarious.
cater to you.
That's hilarious. Well, well. I appreciate this. First of many guests, hopefully, and we will definitely love you to come back when the guys actually also come.
Of
Um,
course.
so yeah, so where can we catch your stream? What are your socials? Where we can catch you?
All right. So stream times are going to vary 100%. Mostly because work schedules and everything. Because there are some nights that I do close for work, and other nights, I could just, generally be working late. But usually on a work day, definitely between like 10 p.m. and midnight, just kind of depending when my work schedule is. That's on a work day. On my days off, I usually start between 8 and 10:30. I know that's like a bit of a range there, but it just kind of varies what I'm doing that day. But I do stream Sunday to Thursday. Normally I don't stream Fridays or Saturdays unless if it's like a special occasion or if I'm making up time for not streaming a certain day because I had like, I don't know, family emergency or something. I'll usually try to make up those days by streaming Fridays or Saturdays. Um,
Yeah,
oh,
I have your channel brought up through the second screen, so you can actually people can actually see her Twitch. There's a
yeah,
Twitch. Yeah.
yeah. Like, basically all of my socials, it's all under the same username, SmolBeanGaming101. I do have a TikTok, Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram as much unless if it's like, hey, I'm streaming right now. But I am trying to work on posting more on there, which reminds me, I need to go through and post some of my older clips that I have edited, which majority of those are posted onto TikTok. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I'm like trying to think.
Well,
Like,
it was good having you. I really appreciate you. Guys,
yeah.
we will be on next Sunday. We'll post it on our actual YouTube channel and also on IG. Our schedule will most likely be on next Sunday, same time frame, around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode. Hopefully, the entire crew, maybe another guest. Who knows? We'll put that out there. But thank you, Small Beans, once again. Thanks everybody who's stopping by.